Alright, I've had it. I'm ending this now. For over a year, you guys have asked me to make an updated EISENDRACHE Easter egg guide, and I'm glad to say that I'm finally here to give it to you. This guide will contain every single thing you could possibly need to beat this Easter egg, including a guide for every bow, every part location, cool tricks for annoying steps in this Easter egg, and an easy way to beat the boss fight every single time. So if this helps you, or if you've been asking for it for over a year, drop a like on the video to show me that this wasn't a massive waste of my time. For your Gobblegums, if you're running Megas, you want to run Perkaholic, Raindrops, Shopping Free, Head Drama, and either Near-Death Experience or Cashback. And also, make sure you're running Head Drama. It is crucial to beating the boss fight. If you're running Classics, you want to run stuff like Anywhere But Here, In Plain Sight, Stock Option, Alchemical Antithesis, and finally, Danger Closest. Danger Closest will make you immune to the Panzer shock charge. Throughout this quest, you want to try and get this exact loadout. You want to get an upgraded bow, preferably the lightning bow. You want to get either the MR6 or the XM53, and any shotgun besides the Argus. Sorry, bud. Try to get the XM from the box if you can, but if you don't, no worries, just hold on to your MR6 and pack a puncher right before the boss fight. If you're running Classics, you can just get a shotgun and a bow for the boss fight. Also, try to get monkey bombs for this quest as well. You'll have a 1 in 3 chance of getting them by throwing your grenades in the second gondola as soon as the game starts, and using a tram 5 times from there. When you spawn in, you want to focus on filling up the 3 dragons to unlock the bow. Each dragon takes 8 zombies in total, 7 to feed and 1 to wake them up. The locations for the dragons are past double tap, going the left way out of spawn, going up the stairs here and going through Samantha's room past the power switch, and the second dragon is in this church, and finally, go down the stairs in the church and it'll lead you into the low gravity room. When you're feeding the dragons, you should do a few things, the first of which is turning on the power. Right before you enter the church, if you take a left in this room instead of going straight, it'll lead you straight to the power. The next thing you should do is get the shield. Now for this, just like almost every other Treyarch map, there are 3 parts, each of which having 3 spawn locations each. This is great to do while you're opening up the map because all the parts are somewhat close to a dragon, so you can just grab the parts as you're filling up the dragons. This is pretty simple for the most part, but to get the part in the low gravity room, you'll have to first turn on low gravity. To turn on low grav, you need to stand on the 4 pressure plates around the pyramid. Stand on them for a few seconds and they'll turn blue. When all 4 are blue, low gravity will turn on, and with it, you can jump in the air to grab the last shield part, and once you have all 3, build the shield in the church. The last thing you should do while opening up the map is unlocking Pack-a-Punch. Go outside the power room and teleport the Pack-a-Punch pieces here. Now go to the low gravity room and do the same thing with the Pack-a-Punch pieces here. Lastly, buy this door and use the teleporter to go to the rocket test. Walk up to the Pack-a-Punch pieces on the platform and Pack-a-Punch will form in front of you. Also, while you're going across the map, make sure you're activating every single Wonder Sphere landing pad. Activating them will turn on the Wonder Spheres, allowing us to traverse the map a lot faster. By far the most important ones to activate though, is the one at spawn and the one at the rocket test. These will allow you to quickly come and go here. After you fill all 3 dragons, you can go down the stairs in the church, and in this room you will see a bow here that's ready to pick up. Pick it up, and now you want to get the bow of your choosing. Your options are Lightning, Wolf, Fire, and Void. I'm going to show you how to get all 4 in this video so you don't have to go to another guide. You should really leave a like for that. But if you just want to get the best one, then build the lightning bow. Skip to the chapter for the bow you want to build, and then skip to this chapter after you build it to continue on with the Easter egg. We're going to start with the best bow though, the lightning bow. To start, you want to head to the death ray trap that's right outside the power room and shoot this weather vane. The broken arrow will drop on the ground here, so now you can pick it up. Now you need to shoot 3 bonfires around the map with the bow to light them up. They're all outside the map, and the first one is right to the left of the bell tower. Just aim a little bit above it and you'll hit it. The second you can shoot from the KRM wall by near double tap. Put your crosshairs above the bonfire, then line it up with the tip of this mountain, and you should be able to hit it every single time. And the last bonfire is at the rocket test, but you can actually shoot it from above double tap. Near where this buildable table is, if you tap fire the bow out this window, you can hit it from here. So just line your crosshair up so it's above like 3/4 of this tree, then shoot to the right of it to hit it. If you can't hit it like this though, you can always shoot it from rocket test. Once you hit all 3, come to the low gravity room and wait for it to turn on. When it's on, you want to wall run on these 5 symbols without touching the floor. If you touch the ground, then you can do it again the next time low grav turns on. Once you hit all 5, you now have to fill 3 urns across the map with zombie souls to charge them. After you charge one, you want to get a charge shot near it to get the lightning on your bow and shoot the nearby bonfire with the lightning. The locations for the urns are inside the bell tower, and obviously you shoot the bonfire right outside the bell tower. Above double tap near the Elcar wall by. For this one, you want to take this drop down and walk to the KRM wall by and shoot the bonfire. And the last one is at the rocket test. The urn is right here next to the box location. Charge it, then get the lightning on your bow and shoot the last bonfire to complete this step. Once you shot all 3 bows with the lightning, return to the weather vane that we started the quest with, and there will be blue smoke on the ground here. Interact with it to place the arrow, and a few seconds later, the reforged arrow will be on the ground. Pick it up, then go to the low gravity room and place the arrow in this box with the lightning on the sides of it, and get 20 kills in this area, and interact with the arrow again to get the lightning bow. The next bow we'll cover is the wolf bow. To start it, there will be 4 paintings you need to interact with in a certain order. Right now I'm showing you all 4 locations for them. The paintings will spawn in a different location every single game, so they won't be in the same location for you as they are in my game. The order you need to interact with these paintings in is on the screen right now. Once you interact with the 4 paintings in this exact order, go to the low gravity room and you can find your broken arrow floating here. Pick it up, then go to the rocket test, and on the platform here, aim where I am and shoot the red flag. When you hit it, the wolf head will fall to the ground and you can pick it up. Now return to the low grav room and place the wolf head on this skeleton right next to the wolf bow box. When you do that, a ghost wolf will spawn in. Follow it until he gets to the courtyard and digs up a hole. When he stops digging, get around 10 kills here, and he'll return to the hole and dig up his owner's remains. Interact with it to pick it up, then follow him and do the same thing when he stops near double tap and when he stops in the low gravity room. After you grab all 3 bones, he'll go to this wall. Once low gravity is on, wall run above him, and there will be a green wolf symbol here. Shoot it with your bow to raise the platform. Get on the platform and place his master's bones in this coffin. Around 5 seconds later, he'll give you the repaired wolf bow, and now you can return to the wolf box where you place the wolf skeleton head, and place your bow in here and get 20 kills in this area, and interact with the bow again to get the wolf bow. Next is the fire bow. Now this one is definitely the hardest one to get, but I will be showing you a pretty easy way to get it. To start, head to the top of the bell tower and shoot this symbol and pick up the broken arrow. Now go to the rocket test and wait for it to go off. Here's a pro tip, this can be triggered manually with getting a power up to spawn, as long as it's been 2 minutes since the rocket test went off. The next time a drop spawns, it'll trigger the rocket test. This goes for any power up, insta kills, nukes, and even Widow's wine grenade drops. So you can get a horde of zombies and throw a Widow's wine grenade in the horde, and then kill them with your bow, and that should spawn a Widow's wine grenade. Once it starts going off, head to the teleporter area and wait for it to finish. And make sure you watch this part real quick to understand how it works. As soon as the door starts opening, you want to charge your bow and aim for the top left part of this glowing rock and shoot it. If done right, you'll see it fly to the death ray. You'll only get 2 or maybe 3 chances to do this depending on how fast you are every time the rocket test goes off. So if you miss it and the rock stops glowing, then you'll have to wait for the rocket test to go off again, so you can try this again. For the next step, you want to hit 3 circles in midair with a charged shot of your bow to light them up. The circles are located outside of double tap, near the bell tower, and right in front of the death ray. Right now I'm showing you all of the lineups in case you want to do this legitimately, but I highly recommend just doing it the way I'm about to show you because you can hit all 3 by only using 1 Wonder Sphere shot. To do this, you want to go to the Wonder Sphere that's right above double tap, and make sure you pay attention to exactly where I shoot and where I line up my crosshair, because you do need pretty good accuracy to do this. Look at the red beam in front of you and look all the way up. Now turn your camera to the left a little bit while still looking as high up as you can. Move your camera to the left until the left part of your crosshair is lined up with this piece of wood. This is where you want to shoot your first shot. Make sure you hit this with a single shot because if you use a charge shot, then it won't work. For the second shot, you'll need to be quick because as soon as you shoot the first shot, you have about 3 seconds to use the Wonder Sphere. Turn your camera back and aim the crosshair so the circles at the bottom are a little bit above the sun. This is where you want to shoot your second shot. Again, make sure it's a single shot. It won't work with a charge shot. As soon as you shoot the second one, use the Wonder Sphere and charge your bow midair and get ready to shoot the final one right before you land. If you hit all 3, it'll look like this. If done right, all 3 circles will be lit up. If you miss one, just try and hit it again until you hit them all. After you hit all 3, you want to visit each of them and get around 5 to 7 kills while you're standing in the circles. The zombies don't have to be anywhere nearby, they can pretty much be across the map and you'll be able to kill them and it'll work. When you fully charge the circle, solar flares will fly from it to the sun up at the death ray. Do the same for the other 2 circles, and once you fill up all 3, return to the bell tower where you started this quest and interact with this wheel. When it shows a symbol, visit the 3 circles again until you find the one that's still glowing. You now need to play a game of golf to take the fire from this circle to a nearby fireplace. When you shoot your arrow, a rock will form where you shot it, and you can go to it and stand in it to take your next shot. You have 4 shots to do this, and you know your shots will count if when you're aiming, you have an orange outline on your screen. Last tip for this step, it is much easier to shoot the walls instead of the ground. For the circle near double tap, stand in it and then shoot the truck that I am. Then go to the rock on the ground here and aim for the castle so the rock falls near the VMP wall by. If you need to take an extra shot, use a single shot to get it closer to the fireplace, but from here you should be able to get it in the fireplace. For the death ray one, aim at the flag on the church and shoot it. Then go to it and shoot it towards where the dragon was, then shoot it in the fireplace. For the death ray one, aim for the right part of the trap, then move your crosshair a little bit under the ball part and shoot shoot it. Shooting it here should give you a lot of leeway for your next shot because it's glitched for some reason. So with this, you can aim over this wall and shoot the Vesper wall by. And from here, you can go to it and shoot it in the fireplace. When you get it in the fireplace, a reddish smoke will come out of the fireplace. Interact with it to place your arrow in it, and finally, return to the death ray and interact with the sun here, and it'll explode and give you your arrow. This thing has an annoying hitbox, so just keep trying until you grab it, and once you do, go to the low grav room and place the bow in this box to get 20 kills in this area, and interact with your arrow again to finally get the fire bow. You know, I think that was a much better tutorial than Noah's. And finally, we got the void bow. To start this quest, go above double tap and shoot this purple symbol. Grab the broken arrow that floats to the ground. For the next step, I recommend buying the bowie knife to make it easier. Come to this room below the bell tower and melee kill a zombie that is standing on this purple tile. When you do, the tile will break, and now you need to interact with the urn in here to start the next step. Now you need to go around the map and collect 6 keeper skulls. The first is down a tunnel near Mule Kick. The second is right next to double tap. The third is in Samantha's room past the VMP wall by. The fourth one is on this windowsill right outside the church. The fifth one is in the teleporter room in this sink, and finally, use the teleporter and go to the rocket test to grab the 6th and final one in the bed of this truck. Now that you have all 6, return to the urn and get 6 crawlers in this room so the keeper heads can eat them. This can easily be done if you have crawl space, but it's not necessary. Just throw a wood as wine grenade in a horde of zombies or a normal grenade and just train the crawlers around until the keeper heads start eating them. For this next step, I recommend you turning on subtitles. After you feed all 6, the urn will tell you 3 objects. Write down the 3 objects in what order he said them in. Both are crucial to beating this next step. If you miss what he said or if you want a refresher, you can shoot the urn with the bow and he'll repeat the code. Get to the last zombie and come to this room near the church. In this room are 6 knights with symbols on their bases. You have to find the 3 symbols in here that the urn told you and interact with them. Doing so will show a purple symbol at their feet. Take a picture of the 3 purple symbols you get to get the deciphered code. Again, make sure you're doing this in the same order that the urn gave you, otherwise you might get confused. So for example, in my game, my code was stag, door, crown. So I interact with stag, crown, and door, and I get these 3 purple symbols, and I know that this is the order of my code for the next step. Now you just want to kill zombies, and every now and then, when you kill a zombie, a purple rune will drop. You only have about 5 seconds to pick this up before it despawns, so make sure you're paying attention. But once you see one, run over it to pick it up. Once you've collected the 3 purple symbols you need from the zombies, return to the urn and they'll be on the ground here. Shoot your 3 purple symbols in the same order that you got them from the knights and the urn, and he should say that is his name. If he says it's not his name, then you did it wrong. Either you got one of the wrong symbols or you put the code in wrong. Something went wrong somewhere, so rewind this and watch it again to see what you did wrong. But if that wasn't his name, get out of this room quickly because the keeper heads will start flying around this room and they will attack you if you stay in here. Wait a few minutes until the keeper heads stop flying to try it again. But if he says that is his name, place your arrow in the light here and pick it back up a few seconds later, and finally place it in this box in the low gravity room with the keeper skulls next to it and get 20 kills in this area, then interact with your arrow again to finally get the void bow. Now finally, continuing on with this Easter egg. To start it, place your upgraded bow back in the chest, and then go back to the bow room where you can grab the unupgraded bow and grab it. Now head to the teleporter room and shoot the balls above the teleporter a few times until you hear this sound. After this, pick back up your upgraded bow, and at this point we're basically playing hide and seek. A wisp will now be at one of 8 locations around the map, and you need to find it and shoot it 4 times with an upgraded bow to proceed. A few things to note about this step while I'm going over all 8 locations on the screen. First, do not end the round until I tell you to. Now like I said, you have to shoot the wisp with an upgraded bow, but also make sure it is a single shot of your upgraded bow. Using a charge shot or the non-upgraded bow, or I believe even a normal weapon too, will make this sound. And if you hear this sound, then you'll have to advance to the next round to restart it. And finally, a huge tip I can give you for this step is on solo. After you find the first wisp, the next one will be at one of the 2 closest locations to where you just shot the previous one. So for example, if the wisp has that power and I shoot it, then the next one will either be in the church or on the globe in Samantha's room. This also applies for co-op games, but one more location will be added per player in the game. So in a 2-player game, the wisp will move to one of the 3 nearest locations, and so on and so forth. When you find all 4 wisps, you will hear this sound. Now go to the teleporter and use it to go back in time. When you're back in time, there are 3 things you have to do here, and you don't have much time to do it, so make sure you do it quick. First, grab the fuses on this box, then on the other side of the room, grab the giant soul canister, and after you grab both of those things, wait for Grafir to enter a code into the safe. Take a picture of the code or write it down, whatever you gotta do. Make sure you remember this code because you need it for the next step. When you come back to the map, a Panzer will spawn, so kill him and grab the Ragnarok part that he drops and go to the death ray. If you haven't used a death ray yet in this game, then you will have to use it once before you can do this next step. Place the fuse in a death ray here, and then on the other side of it, flip the switch from destroy to protect. Now near the bell tower, the computers will be on. Enter the combination from the safe I told you to remember, and you should hear this sound. Now run back down to the teleporter room, and this safe will now be open. Grab the key card and the fuses from the safe, and then go back to the death ray. Put a fuse in both sides of the death ray trap, then go back to the middle of the trap and flip it back from protect to destroy. If you don't do this, the next step won't work. Now go back to the computers near the bell tower and interact with it. Doing so should turn on the bottom 4 computers. Take a picture of these 4 computers because we're about to play a game of Simon Says. The top monitor will show a symbol, and you need to interact with the computer on the bottom with the same symbol. Do this 7 or maybe 8 times without failing, and if you do, you should hear this sound. To make sure it worked, look at the death ray and see if there's a wisp around one of the coils. If there is, then it worked. So now go to the computers at the rocket test and do the same thing here. After you complete this one, return to the death ray and interact with the green dot here to shoot Dempsey out of the sky. Once he lands, come next to the rocket and grab the Vril device. Now we gotta do the wisp step again, but before we do, let's build the Ragnaroks because we do need them for the boss fight. To get them, you need to grab 3 parts. The first you can get by killing a Panzer. To get the second part, use the death ray and look in the sky. The part will be in one of 2 locations, so use the Wonder Sphere either at the courtyard or above double tap to get it. And to get the last part, you need the rocket test to go off. This can be triggered manually by spawning a drop at least 2 minutes after the last rocket test went off, or by spawning a drop after going back in time, which we are about to do again, so I'd get the next part then. When the rocket test does start though, come behind the rocket near the stairs here and there'll be a lever. Hit it, then run to the teleporter and wait for the rocket test to finish. As soon as it does finish, on the right side of the teleporter will be another lever that you have to hit. Hit it, then grab the last part in the teleporter and build it either in the low gravity room or above double tap. Now like I said, we have to do the wisp step again, so find the 4 wisps in the same 8 aforementioned locations, and once you hit all 4, go back in time again. This time you want to go to the right side of the room and insert the key card that we picked up from the safe into this machine. Now this box will be open and there will be a keeper stone inside. Make sure you pick this up. Once you get back to the normal map, go to the room where you can grab the base bow and put the Vril device from earlier in this slot. Doing so will spawn a keeper and also infinite dogs. You want to follow this keeper until he gets to one of 4 locations, either in the courtyard, near Mule Kick, in the hall near the church, or outside Double Tap. More on this one in specific in a minute. When he gets to one of these 4 locations, step inside the circle and look at the color of the outline on your screen. Whatever outline is there, you need to get kills with that bow inside of this circle to charge the keeper. If you're on solo and you only built 1 bow, it'll be your bow every single time, but if you're in co-op or even if you're on solo and you built multiple bows, then it will switch at every location. And when you get to the one near Double Tap, make sure you put the keeper stone in this slot that we grabbed back in time. Otherwise, the kills you get with your bow won't charge the keeper. You need to get around 30 to 40 kills with the bow to charge him. In solo, he won't move until the round flips, but in co-op, if you charge him enough, you can actually get him to move before you end the round. Do the same thing for the second location, and then follow him to the third one. In co-op, a Panzer will spawn in as soon as you enter this circle, so be on the lookout for him, but besides that, do the same thing for the third circle, and for the fourth circle, a Panzer will spawn in both solo and co-op, so watch out for him. When you charge him at all 4 circles, he will turn into a real keeper. Follow him into the low gravity room until you get a white flash. After the audio finishes, place the canister in this corner from the first time we went back in time, and now we are ready for the boss fight. So like I said at the very beginning of this video, the setup that you want is the Pack-a-Punch MR6 or XM53, the shotgun of your choice besides the Argus, and a good bow. Obviously, get all of your perks, get a full shield, get either head drama or near-death experience, and most important of all, have every single player in the game get a full charge on their Ragnaroks. You need them to get into the boss fight. When you're ready to start the boss fight, have every player stand on one of the blue squares around the MPD and pull out your Ragnaroks and click the left trigger to place them on the blue square. Everybody has to do this on a blue square to go into the boss fight. This boss fight has 3 phases with 2 Panzer waves sandwiched in between. First and foremost, throughout this boss fight, never use the Ragnaroks unless I tell you to. It is crucial for beating this boss fight, and trust me when I say you do not want to get caught without the Ragnaroks fully charged, so do not use them. The Keeper boss here has 4 attacks. He can summon Keeper skeleton heads to go after you, he can raise many volcanoes at the ground, and obviously if you stand in it, you will take damage, and he can also summon dogs. He will randomly do these 3 attacks when he's outside the circle of pillars here, but when he goes in the middle, he has a 4th attack, and you will only see it if you fail this step. If you fail to place your Ragnaroks under him when he's in the middle, he will do an insta-kill attack that will down everybody in the game unless you're standing behind one of the pillars. Now that you understand his attacks, run around the outside of the boss fight arena until he goes in the middle and makes this sound. As soon as you hear this sound, hurry and run under the keeper in the middle and place your Ragnaroks down just like you did on the blue squares to get into the boss fight. You have to be fast doing this because if you take too long to place them, or if you didn't place them at all, like I already said, he will do an insta-kill lightning attack that will down everybody if they're not standing behind a pillar. So place them under the keeper, and for extra safety, in case it glitches out or you were too slow, whatever reason, stand behind one of the pillars regardless. If you did it right, the keeper will open up, revealing a yellow symbol on his chest. So shoot him with your explosive weapon, or if you don't have one, take out your bow and shoot him with single shots of it until he makes the wisp sound. After you damage him enough, he will disappear and leave a max ammo. At this point, you want to pick back up your Ragnaroks off the ground and get a monkey bomb ready to throw if you have them. As soon as you hear Panzers start spawning, throw the monkey bomb on the ground and kill them with your shotgun. With both the shotgun and head drama, you can take them out in like 5 shots. On solo, only 3 Panzers will spawn here, but on co-op, it might be more. You know, I don't have no friends. When the keeper talks again and you get another max ammo in the middle when he comes back, you successfully beat phase 1. But when he comes back, take a look at your Ragnaroks in the bottom right. If they are not charged, kill every zombie that you see until they are charged, because you will need them charged again here shortly. When they're charged, just go back to doing the same thing. Run around the outside of the boss fight arena until he goes in the middle. Once he goes in the middle, pull out your Ragnaroks and place them under him, stand behind a pillar for extra safety, and when he opens up, spam it with your explosive weapon or your bow, and do enough damage to where he disappears again. And now, same thing as before. Get a monkey bomb ready to throw, and when the Panzers spawn, throw it and kill them. On solo, 4 Panzers will spawn in phase 2 here, but again, in co-op, it might be 1 or 2 more. After you kill all of them, the keeper will talk again, and come back to the boss fight arena, and now you just gotta do this one more time to win. During the final phase here, and this only applies for co-op, 1 Panzer will spawn right before he goes in the middle, so make sure you're on the lookout and you take him out as soon as possible. But besides that, it's the same as the first 2. Get your Ragnaroks charged and run around the outside of the boss fight arena until he goes in the middle, place them under him, and shoot the yellow symbol on his chest a 3rd and final time to beat the boss fight. Unless you're using the bow, that is. If you're using the bow, you might have to do this a 2nd time for phase 3 to beat him. After the boss fight, you will spawn back at the MPD. Come to the front of it and interact with the summoning key once to break the seal here, and interact with it again around 5 seconds later to grab the summoning key. Finally, all that's left to do in this Easter egg is to place the summoning key on the computers near the bell tower. But before you do this, make sure you are not on a dog round. If you put the summoning key down on a dog round, you will die during the cutscene. But besides that, congratulations! You just successfully completed the EISENDRACHE Easter egg in 2024. If you enjoyed or this helped you, make sure you drop a like. If you want more updated Easter egg guides like this, they're on the screen right now. I've done all of BO3 minus Shadows of Evil, and also I have done all of Black Ops 4. Shout out to my members, thank you all so much for supporting me, I really do appreciate it. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.